In a very shocking twist of events, Kevin Federline is slamming Daphne for the article that she wrote. Kevin says he and his family have had to endure way too much over the years, in a recent report claiming those around Britney fear she's on meth is just too much to handle, and he's fighting back. In response to the story, Kevin tells us it saddens our family that Daphne Barrick, I don't know if that's how you say it, have decided to fabricate lies and publish the heartache our family has endured along with the trauma of our minor children in the Daily Mail and the Sun. We did allow Daphne and Bill into our home because we trusted them, but that trust was lost and we severed ties back in March for many reasons we choose not to go into here. Why is he choosing to leave that part out? Did she promise you a certain amount and you didn't get it? He continues, it is very distressing that she continues to harass our family when we have repeatedly asked her to leave us alone. As was previously published, our family did speak with Miss Barrick and Mr. Ganasty a few times, and this was done in a respectful way with love and compassion for Britney and the Spears family. Her lies and attempts to exploit minors is clickbait and another repulsive example of where, unfortunately, certain journalism has sunk today. Meanwhile, this man, if he was so upset about the lies that Daphne reported on that could hurt Britney, why not say what part she lied about? How did Daphne exploit minors when you allowed your boys to be part of the interview? How did Daphne exploit the minors when you talked about how Britney allegedly treated her boys? How did Daphne even have an article to publish about Britney when you are the one that agreed to be interviewed about Britney Spears? If I could offer Kevin Federline any piece of advice, that would be to please move to Hawaii, stay away from any journalists, and just continue to live off of Britney's money while you're still getting it. Do you know why I believe Kevin Federline didn't say what lies Daphne said in the Daily Mail article was? Now, everything I'm saying is just my opinion, but I think Kevin Federline is not upset about anything Daphne wrote about Britney Spears. He's upset about what she wrote about him, and let me show you. Daphne first says that Britney Spears does fund the boys' education and then some. Kevin Federline collects $40,000 a month in child support from Britney. There are considerable expenses involved in looking after the boys. It is true, but he receives more than the US president does, and it's tax-free. Daphne didn't stop there. She literally took jabs at Kevin. She goes on to say, when Britney says she has spent years funding the lifestyle of those around her, she is right. Kevin's plan is to move the boys to Hawaii, far from her home in LA, which will only compound her suspicion. Daphne writes, as it happens, there is a legal quirk in Hawaii. There, parents must support their children through college until they're 23. Mandatory support ends at 18 in every other state. So Daphne is suggesting that the only reason why Kevin is trying to move to Hawaii is to continue to collect money from Britney Spears, which we've already talked about. Daphne writes, Britney also suggests that Kevin does little work aside from caring for her teenage boys, and she appears to be correct. And then this is the part that probably really triggered Kevin, was when she talked about how Kevin and the family live in Calabasas and they're surrounded by other celebrities, but then she talks about what their home looks like. Kevin and his partner Victoria have certainly given the boys a loving home and spend time driving them to school and activities. All great things. But then she goes on to say, but there are no flowers in the garden, the grass is unkempt, and with 2 dogs roaming free, you have to watch where you step. And then the next part of the article is when Victoria is like, I am the reason why Jaden can play the piano. And this is why I believe Kevin Federline did not say what Daphne lied about, because it had nothing to do with Britney. He's upset about how she painted him.